Outside Health and Fitness Podcast, episode 136. Funky fitness fads from the past.
So the device is basically two pieces of metal tubing that's bent in a loop and connected with a hinge.
Welcome to the Outside Health and Fitness Podcast. We're getting outside the box, outside our comfort zone, and outside and in shape. If you're bored with the same old fitness routine at the gym and you're ready to try something new, then this is the show for you. We're exploring new and fun ways to get fit on the trail, on the water, on the slopes, and outside.
Hi, this is Steve Stearns from Outside Health and Fitness, and thank you for joining me for another episode. If you're new to the show, we like to stay fit and active by having fun outside. We like to ride, slide, run, walk, hike, bike, golf, rolf, swim, and ski. If it's fun outside and it keeps us healthy, we love it. So if you're like us and you like to have fun outside, then you found the right place. I'm busy working on some new episodes of Outside Health and Fitness for you, but I'm not quite there yet. So I thought I'd reach back into the archives this week and share this episode I did with my friend Jessica Bailey on 10 funky fitness fads. We talk about some pretty funky stuff from the past, some stuff that you might remember, and others you may never have heard of.
OutsideHealthAndFitness.com.
Jessica, I am so excited to dive into this episode. This is like something totally different for me.
I am excited too. I had so much fun doing the research for this episode.
I know it's there's a lot of crazy stuff out there, isn't there?
Yes.
I found
it just proves that like people will do anything to like get in shape.
Absolutely. I found it kind of hard just to pick some, didn't you?
Oh my goodness, I found it ridiculously hard because everything was so entertaining.
That's right. Get lost in just watching the stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we'll just trade back and forth a little bit, I guess.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Why don't you go first? Ladies first. We'll see what you came up with.
All right. Well, my first pick was inspired from the 1990s, and it was someone that is very much like Richard Simmons, like very energetic. Was Tony Little's Gazelle? Do you remember that? Yeah,
I do.
Like where you stood on the platform and you moved your feet back and forth while holding and moving these handlebars, kind of like the elliptical.
Yeah.
What is funny is that you can't adjust the resistance to the Gazelle. Like if you want to make it harder, you just have to go faster.
Oh.
So like, I mean, like, yes, you can up like your cardio fitness, but like you can't increase your tone. Once a certain level of fitness is achieved, sorry, you
That's
just have lost out.
That's right. And then the Gazelle just ends up like holding your clean or dirty clothes, probably.
Yeah. Well, and this weird piece of machinery, like you could only be, I guess it only supports like 200 pounds or something. So like if you are interested in losing weight, sorry, if you weigh over 200 pounds, nope, this is going to break.
Not the thing for you. You know what's crazy? I actually, believe it or not, I worked out next to Tony Little one time.
No way.
Yeah, I was.
How's that?
Isn't that crazy? I was I was out in Las Vegas at an electronic retailing association show, and
Nice.
which is a lot of the guys that do the infomercials. And I'm just at the hotel working out on the treadmill, and this guy comes in, and it's Tony Little.
No way.
Almost didn't recognize him because he's not that enthusiastic just in real life. But,
what?
But he is so small. It's incredible. I'm not a very big guy, and he was smaller than me. I couldn't believe it.
No way. Well, I mean, they say that the TV adds a little bit of something to you.
That's right.
So maybe there's that. Well, didn't he like have like a serious car crash or something like that?
Yeah, that's right. There was something like that, and that's where he got really heavy and then got into the fitness, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he ended up gaining a whole bunch of weight, and then he went to a home shopping network and struck a deal with them, and that's how we got the Gazelle.
Then the Gazelle was born.
Yeah, and the Gazelle was born. And I have to also tell you about this, that there was somebody that like wanted to increase the intensity. So what they did was they attached bungee cords to the handlebars.
Oh, my
to make
goodness.
it more intense. Like, really? Okay. It's so bad that you have to make your own ways of increasing the intensity for this machine.
That's crazy. You know, that sounds like a great way to put your eye out right there.
Right?
Well, that's awesome. I don't know if I can keep up with you on that, but I'll try. My first one was something called the hula chair. Have you ever heard of that one before?
Oh, no. That sounds super fun.
Yeah, it sounds fun, but wait till you see it in action. It's crazy. So this thing is supposedly, you're supposed to get a lot of good core and balance muscles from mimicking kind of a hula hoop action or like Hawaiian dance movement. But what you're supposed to do with this is you just sit in the chair and turn it on, and it does that while you're sitting in it.
So basically you just sit
Yes.
and there's this machine that works out around you.
Basically, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's kind of crazy.
So basically you can just get in great shape by just sitting there.
Just sitting there. And
Awesome.
I'll tell you the funniest thing, because I did some, I kind of poked around and I found a video on YouTube about this. And one of the things that they said about this was that you can do it while you're at work. You can just sit at work and hula hoop and get in great shape. And they showed people, and it was like, how could you possibly concentrate or file or pick up a phone or do anything while you're spinning around like that?
And not to mention, it probably is a little awkward if you have like your cubicle mate like doing a hula hoop routine next to you. No, I don't understand. And it probably was not cheap, right?
No, I think they were like $400 or $500. And
God.
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pelvic movement, so you can imagine that some workers probably end up in HR after this. And I don't know if it worked, but it did make Time's 50 worst inventions list.
Amazing.
Came in at number 23.
Oh, good. So they got quality placement. That's great.
That's right. They were right in there. So that was my number one. So.
Oh, good. It's a good one.
Yeah.
My next one is not actually something that like a piece of equipment. It was a craze. And
Okay.
I'm going to give you 3 words. 1990s infomercial, taekwondo, and spandex.
Oh, it's got to be Taibo, right?
Yep, that's
All right.
it. First of all, did you have one? I had one.
I didn't. No. Is this Billy Blanks?
Yes.
Yes.
The taekwondo
Banks.
instructor. So,
Yes.
I mean, like he combined martial arts and kickboxing to get this infomercial phenomenon. And like in 1999, I think it aired 2,000 times a day.
Wow.
2,000. That's crazy, right?
That was
it's
huge.
a lot of like watching spandex. So I just found it very funny because I remember in the infomercial, there were like testimonials from regular people and celebrities like telling the truth, and they praised its spirit, and it was $60
Wow.
for a workout video. So it was just like, I just found it to be crazy that people would like buy into this insane like craze that this, I guess, celebrity taekwondo instructor made.
Well, what's really funny about those too is that I can remember sometimes you'll sit I'll sit and watch those, and when
Yeah.
I'm done watching, even like 15 or 20 minutes, I almost feel like I worked out.
Yeah, it's
But I
true.
just sat there.
I know, it's true and you really start to believe
Yeah.
what they're telling you. You're like, oh yeah, well who wouldn't want to kick and punch out and let out aggression in my own home? I mean, what's not to like?
That's right.
You just have to do it.
Yeah. And he is famous because of that infomercial. I'd never heard of him before that. Had you?
No,
Yeah.
no. I don't know why. I think that's the only thing that he's been known for, right?
As far as I'm concerned, yeah, I've never knew him for anything else.
Yeah, no.
That's pretty funny. That's a good one. That's a great one.
Yeah,
I can't believe I guessed it.
I know. Well, I think the spandex might have given it away for you.
That was the key word for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the next one I have, I've kind of got a little theme going here, but I promise I'll break this in a second. But this is another one where you just sit there and get in amazing shape. I seem to like that idea, I guess.
Yes,
But
you do like that idea.
So this one, they start talking about, the infomercial kind of starts and it says, you've never seen a cowboy that doesn't have good ripped abs. And I kind of went, actually, no, I know of a whole bunch of cowboys, like Haas from Bonanza.
Yeah.
So I instantly didn't believe the infomercial, but this thing is called Giddyup Core Exerciser.
Oh, amazing. That sounds super fun, too.
So it's kind of like having a little bucking bronco right in your living room. And the idea is that you sit on there, and because it's bucking back and forth and moving all over the place, your core is having to stabilize and balance, and that is what is going to get you in awesome shape. Now,
clearly it's going to get you in awesome shape.
That's right.
First of all, it sounds like maybe it's not quite marketed towards fitness people. It sounds like something else. Something that's probably,
Yeah, it was a little blue. The commercial was a bit blue.
Yeah. But I mean, I get the idea of like you want to contract your core and contract your abdominals. But what people don't realize, no matter what kind of workout you do, you can't just work on the core and have an amazing six-pack and the rest of you be nothing.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
There's no spot treatment like that.
No.
And it's funny in these commercials too. This one really struck me this way, where they make a pretty logical connection on one hand, but then when you stop and think about it, you go, well, that doesn't make sense, because they kind of say, horseback riding is really great exercise and it's even therapeutic, and you kind of go, well, yeah, that's true, and then you go, but this isn't that, this is something different,
right?
And then to give it total credibility, it was available in Sky Mall, so.
Oh, well, then you have to get that.
Yeah.
Because we know that Sky Mall only offers quality products.
It's only the best stuff. Yeah.
Right.
So that was my number 2.
So my next one is also not a piece of equipment. It's the 8-minute video series.
8-minute video series.
Yeah. Remember 8-minute abs?
Oh,
In 8 minutes a day, you too can be ripped as that skinny pantsed instructor. So, I just found that, once again, it's any, rational person can tell you that it's pretty impossible just to get in shape in 8 minutes.
Right.
I don't really understand how, you think you can have rock-hard abs in 8 minutes a day. So I just found it funny that the host of this 8-minute video series is talking with really, really bland music and is really, really chipper. And her, 2 little demonstrators are I'm not sure if they're sober. They're smiling like crazy while they're doing these ab series, a series of sit-ups and stuff. And the host is calling everyone a gang. And I'm all right, is this are we talking Bloods and Crips, or just trying to inspire us? I just really was interested in this. And I have that too. I have to admit.
Oh, you have done it?
Oh, yeah. I got the 8-minute abs.
Oh.
I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but I did. I had the 8-minute abs and the Tybo.
Wow. Now, what was the theory behind the 8-minute abs? Was it just doing ab work really fast, or what was the theory?
So, if you don't have a lot of time in your day and you don't have the time to go to the gym and come home from the gym, you can do this in the comfort of your own home and no one will see you, and you can work out at your own pace, because there's a little clock, there's a countdown clock on the side of the television telling you how much more time you have left. And in theory, I can get it. 8 minutes. You can wrap your head around 8 minutes. I can do this. But what is really the truth is that, once again, you can't spot train.
Right.
And 8 minutes is not going to do it.
Absolutely.
And then they got a lot of publicity because, remember in that movie, Something About Mary, when there was that scene with the hitchhiker and he was going to create the 7-minute abs? Remember that? So, they got a whole bunch of free publicity because that movie was great.
Yeah. And he was going to do one better than them and do 7-minute abs.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
That's crazy. That is a great one. I love that 8-minute abs. I'd forgotten all about that. And they had a whole series.
I used to remember.
Yeah, that's right. I'll have to go see if maybe I bought that. I don't even remember. Who knows? Now, the next one that I have, I started kind of going, okay, I should try to look for some fitness fads and equipment that is outside related too, because it's outside health and fitness. So
yeah.
I found this thing, which is probably the silliest thing I have ever seen in my life, except for the last thing that I found. And this is called the Flea Bike, Fliz bike.
Neat.
So I'm going to try my best to describe this to you, and I found a video of this one too, so I can post this so we can all check it out. But
okay.
So it's a bike with no pedals, and the bike frame itself goes up over your back, and you are strapped underneath the bike frame, and you get the bike going by running, kind of like Fred Flintstone would do in his car, and then you put your feet up on the back tire and you coast.
What?
I'm not making this up.
That's crazy. What?
I know. I couldn't believe it.
Oh my God. So that means somebody put money behind that.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is a great idea.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And I, the what they're kind of claiming about it is it's a new way to walk, it's a new way to run, and I'm kind of going, I would just walk or run. I don't want to be strapped to the underbelly of this bicycle.
Right.
It's really an odd thing. And the guy who's demonstrating this is all hunched over. It doesn't look like a very comfortable position.
Yeah. You've got a bike on your back.
Yeah. And I don't know what happens if you crash, because you're totally strapped into this thing.
So you just don't.
I think you just don't crash. So
right.
Now this looks like a German thing. So I'm not sure if this has ever made it over to the U.S. because I've never seen one of these in real life. But
yeah, no, that sounds very, very special.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of the most bizarre things I think I've ever seen.
Right. It is bizarre. Wow. That's a very interesting contraption.
Yep. No doubt.
And is it expensive?
Oh yeah, I think it was $1,200 or $1,500, maybe something like that.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah, I could think of way better things to do with $1,500. And if you're looking at something like that for cardiovascular fitness, I would either walk or run or get a bike. But
right.
I'm not going to combine all those things.
Right. But I don't understand why. That seems like a brilliant idea.
I know. Fred Flintstone would have liked it. So that's what I've got for my number 3.
So my next one is very, very, very exciting. It was something that was designed to shape one's thighs.
Oh, I remember this one.
Yeah, the ThighMaster.
Yes.
By Suzanne Summers.
I remember that.
Yeah, so the device is basically 2 pieces of metal tubing that's bent in a loop and connected with a hinge.
Yep.
I think it was blue and red, if I recall. My mother had one.
It's like a big paper clip almost, isn't it?
Yeah. And you could put it between your knees and squeeze them together. And you could also put it at any small angle and do biceps. I don't know. I guess you could put it behind the leg and do your hamstrings.
Oh, man.
And so the product was emphasized that the ThighMaster could be used while doing something else. Because that's what you should do when you work out. You should just work out and do something else.
Right. That way you don't actually concentrate on the workout at all, right?
No, it's perfect. It's great. I mean, you can watch TV and get thighs of steel the entire time. It's amazing.
Oh, man. Well, I don't remember what it was, but it might have been Saturday Night Live or something where someone's using one of those things and it snaps out between their thighs and shoots across the room.
I was always petrified because I remember my mother had one and I would, play with it from time to time. And my mother would always be like, it's a little inappropriate for a child to be using this. She would say that to me. I'm like, but why is this inappropriate? You're the one that looks obscene doing it. I had no idea what I was doing.
So that's another one of those spot exercise.
Yeah, I know. Can you see my theme here?
Yes, interesting. And we know that doesn't work. So
right. Well, the guy that marketed the ThighMaster was Joshua Reynolds, and he is the heir to the fortune of R.J. Reynolds, which is the founder of the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company.
Ah, I see.
And Joshua Reynolds also got fame from promoting the mood ring. So we know it's high quality.
That's right. The mood ring.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. I had forgotten about that one, too.
Oh, yeah.
Suzanne Summers. And that's a weird, I mean, maybe it's because I'm a guy, but the thigh is like, I'm just not all that concerned about that. But maybe it's a lady thing.
It is a lady thing. I mean, it's one of the special parts of a woman that you're always concerned about your thighs.
I see.
Well, and Suzanne Summers told me to be. So
well, that's true. That's right. You have to listen to what she says. Well, my next one, staying with my outside theme for a second, I looked for another interesting outside gadget, and I found this thing called an Aqua Skipper.
Oh.
So this is of all the things that I looked at, this one's kind of got some potential to it, but what it is, it's this, for lack of a better term, it's a bicycle that you ride on the water, but it's made out of 2 hydrofoils. So you have a great big one in the back of this bike and a little one in the front of it, and by hopping up and down, you cause that rear foil to push down in the water and propel you forward. And yeah, it's one of these things you got to kind of see, these people hopping around on the water.
Yeah.
It literally works, and they hop around and they move forward, and then they can even glide a little bit and hop some more. And I was looking at this going, I couldn't really find too much about, the health benefits of it other than it was, any of the reviews that I read from people that had done it said it was just a tremendous workout because,
You're hopping?
Yeah, you're hopping. You're basically hopping like a kangaroo.
Right.
But the one thing that really turned me off was it says in it that you can only launch the thing from on top of the water. So if you run out of steam while you're hopping, you just sink. And then you have to swim back to shore with this huge bicycle thing, which is probably a better workout than the hopping. I don't really know. But
so what you're saying is it's completely safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah. So that I thought it was pretty interesting, something to take a look at, but
yeah, that is an interesting idea.
Yeah, not sure if I'm going to rush out and get one, but
yeah. And was that one expensive as well?
I don't recall what that one went for, but probably. It seems like something that might be expensive.
Yeah, considering they probably sold maybe one, maybe 2.
Yeah, there wasn't a huge community that I found out there on that one.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward.
It really is, yeah. I might try it in the winter, maybe when the lakes freeze over. It might work better then.
Right, so then you wouldn't get trapped in the water and have to swim to shore with this big old contraption.
That's right.
Yeah. So for my last one, it was inspired by Cher from Clueless.
Oh.
Actually, I don't think she inspired it, but I think she just talked about it. It was Buns of Steel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, it means, you could work out in the comfort of your own home. And, workout videos were all the rage in, the late 90s or the late 80s, early 90s. And I think, people didn't realize that you actually had to do the workout. You couldn't just, watch the instructor,
exactly.
Oh, look at that. You can, be a better person if you do this video. So the Buns of Steel was inspiring because it gave people this idea that they could fill out their leotards or bike shorts or whatever. But they actually didn't. They had to actually do something, and no one really
wanted to
doing anything. Yeah. So there we go. And that's my big old list of fitness fads.
That's wonderful. And Buns of Steel is bringing up the caboose, kind of, on
right.
your list. That's awesome.
True.
Well, the last one that I have is another one of these ones that you have got to just see for yourself. It's called the Face Trainer.
Oh.
Yeah. So this one was put out there by a company called No, which is what I think I should be told if I'm even considering buying one of these things.
Right.
But it looks like, you remember that movie Silence of the Lambs?
Oh, yes.
And Hannibal Lecter?
Yes.
It kind of looks like that. That's,
oh, God.
And you put that on your face.
Why?
I don't know. Well, what they say is that what they're doing is they're applying resistance training to the muscles of your face. And
oh my gosh.
This little mask thing is supposed to help with that so that you can strengthen these muscles and your wrinkles go away and all that stuff.
Great.
I got to tell you, this is another one of these things you have to see the video because they have these crazy things where I'll try to describe this as best I can. You put your fingers kind of on your eyebrows. And then you look up and you make kind of an O sound with your mouth and drop your chin down low. And that's called, I think it's called surprise puppy or something.
Oh, there are names for these exercises too. Neat.
That's right. So you do things like that. And it's only 8 minutes a day that you would do this. So.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. It's kind of like the 8-minute series probably.
Right. Yeah. It's part of the 8-minute series. It's got to be.
And
sounds like another quality piece of equipment for us to get.
Absolutely. I only found one review on Amazon, and it was a favorable review from somebody who bought it as a gag gift and said it was a great gag gift, although it was a little expensive for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm sure it was not cheap.
No, I should have written down the prices of all these things because I can't remember this one, but if it was $4 or $5, it would be too much, I think.
Yeah, considering it's not going to work. Because if it did, everyone would have one.
That's right.
Yeah.
And again, it kind of fits in with your thing of the spot reduction.
Oh, yeah.
It's, face fitness, I guess.
Clearly, if you just get your ThighMaster and you get the face Hannibal Lecter thing that you were talking about, you're golden.
Oh, man.
Amazing.
Can you imagine doing all of these at the same time?
Wow. That's interesting. Me hopping up and down with his bike thing. Yeah. And me running with like Fred Flintstone with the face trainer on. That would be amazing.
Yeah. The ThighMaster and the hula chair, all of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. That would be awesome.
God, if only this stuff worked.
Yeah.
So I guess the bottom line is these things are pretty funny to look at, and some of us have even purchased these things, and me too. I don't think I've purchased anything on the list, but remember the ab roller. I bought one of those.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, so we've all been there.
Oh yeah.
But eventually we find out that you just have to do the actual work, right?
Yeah, I think like it's just a matter of trial and error. I mean, I didn't buy anything that was gonna like harm me. But, yeah, right. I got caught up in watching the infomercials, too. I mean, you watch them for long enough, you're like, yeah. What they say has got to be true.
Seems to make good sense. That was a ton of fun to do. In fact, it was so much fun, Jess and I launched our own show called Funky Fitness Now, where we review more weird fitness topics every week. Stop by and check us out at funkyfitnessnow.com or find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and other top podcasting networks. Speaking of iTunes, reviews and ratings in iTunes really help other people find the show, and they keep me energized. Have you left us a rating and review yet? It's super easy. If you're listening on an Apple device using the podcast app, just click on the artwork to see the show notes. Click the link, leave a rating and review in iTunes, and jot down your thoughts. It's that simple. Or visit outsidehealthandfitness.com/136 to leave a review and for links to everything we talked about today and more information on Funky Fitness Now. While you're there, be sure to get your free copy of Fit Fast First Thing, my Tabata morning workout that gives you a quick 10-minute routine you can do to start your day off right. Well, that wraps up another episode of the Outside Health and Fitness Podcast. I hope you got something of value from the show today that helps you get outside and in shape. For more on taking your health and fitness outside, visit outsidehealthandfitness.com and subscribe to the show. Until next time, I'll see you outside.